What did Go First tell the DGCA about resuming its flight operations? And who wants to invest in the Adani Group? How many companies are in the race to buy Glenmark Life Sciences? And why did Sudarshan Chemical stock jump despite a fall in profits? All this and more in today's Corporate Central special. I'm Sresha Tiwari, and before you hit on your midweek blues, let's find out what took place in the corporate world today. Investment firm GQG Partners is in talks for an additional investment of around $1 billion in Adani Group shares, having reaped bumper returns on the close to $2 billion it plowed into the conglomerate stock in March. The investment, if it goes through, will be part of the Adani Group's effort to raise funds from stake sales in three companies, that is Adani Enterprises, Adani Green Energy and Adani Transmission. Further, Adani Green Energy is set to seek board approval to raise between $750 million to $1 billion through the qualified institutional placement route. The capital raised by Adani Green Energy will be used to repay an outstanding $750 million three-year bond issued in 2021 that is due next year. Meanwhile, most of the Adani Group stocks were losers on Wednesday after a strong show on Tuesday. Talking about recouping, Adani Ports on Tuesday recouped its value lost after the Hindenburg report, but again slipped 2.2% on Wednesday. BOC Aviation has moved the NCLT to secure an Airbus A320neo aircraft that it has leased to Go First, the cash-strapped airline. BOC Aviation made the application after an appellate court on Monday upheld NCLT's order admitting Go First's insolvency petition. Meanwhile, lessors of Go First aircraft are taking several steps, such as mounting legal challenges and lobbying with the Finance Ministry to get possession of the aircraft. While some lessors, such as BOC Aviation, Pembroke Leasing and Acipiter Investments aircraft have moved the NCLT and Delhi High Court. Other lessors who are backed by some of the world's largest firms have approached the Ministries of Civil Aviation and Finance. Further, the suspended board of Go First has taken proactive measures by filing caveats in the Supreme Court against 4 aircraft leasing companies which are seeking to deregister their aircraft from the airline's fleet in order to repossess them. By filing caveats, the board is trying to ensure that the airline gets a prior notice before any legal action is initiated against it. Meanwhile, cash-strapped Go First, which abruptly stopped operations from May 3rd onwards, has told the DGCA that it does not have a definite timeline yet for resuming its flights. Go First's plea for voluntary insolvency resolution proceedings was filed on May 2nd, and it suspended its operations on May 3rd, and it has announced to keep it suspended until May 26th. And in a bid to tackle its soaring debt burden, Anil Agarwal-led Vedanta Group has raised a $850 million fund with JP Morgan and Oaktree. As per a Bloomberg report, the conglomerate has raised this fund after signing a 5-year loan for about $850 million. Investors have a close eye on the group's debt load as surging interest rates intensify pressure on junk-rated borrowers. The transaction takes place just days before Vedanta Resources must pay back a $500 million bond. Earlier, the company had tried to sell its zinc assets to Hindustan Zinc Limited for $3 billion but failed to do so. This month, Vedanta reported an 8% fall in its profit in the April quarter, and the falling profit was the result of the declining prices of the metal. The promoters of multinational packaging firm and leading pet film manufacturer Polyplex Corporation have agreed to sell a 24.2% stake in the Noida headquartered firm to Dubai-based AGP Holdco Limited for an aggregate consideration of 1,379.47 crore rupees. According to the official disclosure of the stock exchanges, the promoters of Polyplex Group and AGP Holdco Limited have signed a binding term sheet and agreed to certain put and call option arrangements, as part of which AGP Holdco has the right to increase its shareholding at a later stage. According to earlier media reports, private equity firm Bain Capital and Thailand's Indorama Ventures had earlier expressed their interest in buying a controlling stake in Polyplex Corporation. As per the closing terms of the deal, AGP Holdco Limited will have the right to appoint one director on the board of Polyplex, and such directors will also be a member of identified board committees. The investor will also have similar director appointment rights on the board of the identified subsidiaries of Polyplex. TTK Healthcare on Tuesday posted a 59% jump in its fourth quarter net profit at 16.94 crore rupees. The Chennai-based pharmaceutical company's net profit for the same quarter of the previous fiscal stood at 10.62 crore rupees. Although profits from continued operations stood at 20.42 crore rupees during the latest quarter, it was pulled down by a 3.47 crore rupees tax expense pertaining to its discontinued operations. Previously, TTK Healthcare sold its human pharma business to BSV Pharma for a consideration of 805 crore rupees during the first quarter of FY22. Standalone revenue from operations went up by 14% year-on-year to 180 crore rupees during quarter 4 of FY23. Ahmedabad-based Nirma Group and leading private equity firms have joined the race to acquire BSE-listed Glenmark Life Sciences. The acquisition by chemicals to cement major Nirma, if successful, would be a major boost for the healthcare segment of the group on the lines of its successful entry into the cement sector following its purchase of Lafarge India's assets for about 9,400 crore rupees in July 2016. It later followed up by buying Imami Cement assets for 5,500 crore rupees in February 2020. Glenmark owns an 82.8% stake in the company, and as per the closing of May 24th, the value of this share is about 5,450 crore rupees. Besides Nirma, American private equity giants KKR and Blackstone are interested in buying a stake in the company. In April this year, the Nirma Group acquired Stericon Pharma, an eye drop and contact lens maker, for around 350 crore rupees. SpiceJet, which completed 18 years of flying on Tuesday, announced that they have decided to hike the salary of their captains to 7.5 lakh rupees per month for flying 75 hours. SpiceJet also announced that a tenure-linked loyalty reward has also been introduced for captains. SpiceJet also informed that trainers and first officers will also see equally increased salary. Earlier, the airline had revised salaries for its pilots in November 2022, wherein the salary of the captains was raised to 7 lakh rupees a month for 80 hours of flying. Meanwhile, SpiceJet has said that it plans to bring 4 grounded aircrafts back into service by June 15th, following which more such aircrafts are expected to become operational in the following weeks. As of now, the airline has some 25 grounded aircrafts. The government is planning to merge Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals with Hindustan Petroleum Corporation. The decision came after ONGC acquired HPCL 5 years ago. The move will help ONGC to streamline its downstream vertical. After the acquisition of HPCL by ONGC, there were plans for the merger of HPCL and MRPL. However, it took 5 years for the ministry to start the execution of the plan. The ministry is now working on the HPCL and MRPL merger, which will mainly be a share swap deal, according to an Economic Times report. Well, that was all about corporates. Now let's take a look at some happening market stocks and also analyze the reason behind it. First up, shares of Ashok Leyland have seen a decline of more than 2% on Wednesday, May 24th, after the fourth quarter results released on Tuesday. The company reported 33% jump in quarter 4 from 8,744 crore rupees to 11,626 crore rupees. Operating profit was up 64% from 776 crore rupees to 1,276 crore rupees. Operating margin went up from 8.9% to 11%, while the estimate was around 10.15%. Also, a 17% decline was seen in profit from 901 crore rupees to 751 crore rupees. Although in the same quarter last year, there was a one-time profit of about 470 crore rupees, and at this time too there has been a profit of 56 crore rupees. That is, on an adjusted basis, the profit has increased by about 61% year on year. Talking about whole of the FY23, the company's profit grew more than 2 times to 1,380 crore rupees, and income grew by 67% to 35,977 crore rupees. After the results, JP Morgan has retained the overweight rating on the stock, and the target is set as 175 rupees. Further, Nomura maintains buy and target at 184 rupees. Both broking houses believe that quarter 4 operating margins have been better than expected. The stock of consumer durable maker Dixon Tech saw a jump of more than 9% on Wednesday. During the day, the stock touched a high of 3,583 rupees, and the reason behind this is the strong fourth quarter performance. The company's profit in quarter 4 has increased by 29% from 63 crore rupees to 81 crore rupees, while the estimate was around 71 crore rupees. Operating profit has increased by 31% from 118 crore rupees to 155 crore rupees. Operating margin has improved from 4% to 5.1%, while the estimate was around 4.7%. The company's management is expecting an improvement of 30 to 40 basis points in the operating margin in the current financial year, but the company's income has grown only around 4%. Income grew by 3.8% to 3,065 crore rupees from 2,953 crore rupees, but estimates have been better, which was around 2,925 crore rupees. Goldman Sachs maintains neutral rating on the stock after the results and increases the target from 3,060 rupees to 3,370 rupees. Similarly, Morgan Stanley has given underweight rating but has increased the target from 2,388 rupees to 2,727 rupees. Although the results are good and the company will also get the benefits of the government's emphasis on Make in India, but this is discounted in the growth share price, due to which Goldman Sachs has maintained a neutral rating. In the fourth quarter results, Sudarshan Chemical stock has seen a big jump of more than 14% despite the profit falling by 23.3% year-on-year despite the drop in profits. The reason behind the strong rally in the stock is the big improvement in the quarter-on-quarter results. Standalone profit of the company grew by 16.7 times quarter-on-quarter to 22.7 crore rupees from 1.4 crore rupees in quarter 4. Working profit up by 76% from 39.1 crore rupees to 69 crore rupees. Operating margin improved from 8.4% to 12.7%, and the company's net sales increased by 16.4% from 465.3 crore rupees to 541.5 crore rupees. Shares of auto component maker NRB Bearings saw a strong jump of up to 10% on Wednesday. NRB Bearings has tied up with Oberoi Realty, and under this agreement, NRB Bearings will be transferred to Oberoi Realty Company. Oberoi Realty is going to buy 6.4 acres of land from NRB Bearings, which is located in Pokhran Road 2 area of Thane, and the deal between the two companies is expected to be completed in the next 120 days. According to reports, Oberoi Realty has paid 170 crore rupees for this land of NRB Bearings, and earlier in February 2023, Oberoi Realty had bought 9 acres of land from Blue Star in the same area for approximately 200 crore rupees. Blue Star's land is close to GlaxoSmithKline Pharma's 60-acre plot, which Oberoi Realty bought in 2019 for 890 crore rupees. Due to the news of the land deal, the shares of Oberoi Realty saw a flat closing on Wednesday. That's all tonight on Corporate Central, but before we go, let's leave you with some important corporate events and triggers which you need to watch out for and which could make potential market impacts. Fed meeting minutes will be released after market hours, and also UK's inflation figures will impact the markets. And also further, European Central Bank President's address on a completion of 25 years to make market impacts. And looks like several major events on May 25th taking place, which will have market impacts. Talking about results first, the companies include Page Industries, Z Entertainment, IEX, Voda Idea and SAIL. Also, the board meeting of Balmer Lorry will be held to consider its results, and bonus shares and buyback will be discussed, and futures for May to expire, which will have major market impacts. And also on May 25th, Whirlpool futures last day of trading, and followed by hearing in NCLT on SpiceJet's insolvency case is on May 25th as well. Last day for buyback of TeamLease is on May 25th, which is priced at 3,050 rupees per share. Also, Trent's dividend ex-date of 2.2 rupees per share also falls on May 25th, and US Q1 GDP figures will be released on May 25th. That's all tonight on Corporate Central. See you tomorrow, same time, with all that's latest in the market and the corporate world. Until then, stay tuned to Money9.